I'm here for the first round of the NFL draft in 2025. Unfortunately, I cannot show the draft, but that's not going to stop me. Still have the draft tracker up? No, I don't want updates. Go away. I just should probably move these around a little bit. You go down here, and YouTube TV can go up here. There we go. That's probably the best way to do this, but the draft does start here in a few minutes. Oh, it's officially set to kick off at 7 o'clock, and I just realized I probably should have delayed this like another 5 minutes just because it's not going to start immediately then. By the way, there's still a lot of storylines coming out here. The one that NFL Network is talking about, and easily the most talked about one, is Shedeur Sanders, quarterback from Colorado. Meanwhile, Sanders was seen as a top like 2, 3 pick, maybe even top 1 pick early in the draft process. Now he has fallen and fallen hard. Some don't even think he goes in the first round. NFL Network called him the most polarizing quarterback prospect since Johnny Manziel. That's how much people are talking about this kid. There's no telling what's going to happen with the quarterbacks. There's a chance that 4 or 5 go in the first round, and there's a chance that one goes first overall and another doesn't get picked for another round or two. Everything's going insane. Now, of course, leading off the draft will be the Tennessee Titans. And right now proceed to make it everyone's problem. Hey Riley, if you're awake by the Bills pick, we wait for the Bills pick and to get your pick on the idea on that. But what do you want, Riley? What do you want for your team? Who do you want the Bills to draft in what position? We could use a corner. I agree. Like Trey White might be an upgrade over Kyrie Elam, but you definitely need a starter up there. And Ian Rappaport just talking about how Mike Tomlin is still a fan of Shedeur Sanders. Although I heard something different. It's kind of like a source of a source type of thing, but I've heard that the Steelers want nothing to do with Shedeur. Those are great, but we need someone who can match his engine. Also, you can play day one. Exactly. Yeah, I feel like White is more like a depth piece and maybe like a mentor kind of role. Not really like the guy you lean on. And like I said, like it's almost impossible to get worse than what you had last year. So, but yeah, the draft is in Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Actually, no, is that Lambeau? I don't know. I looked where the draft is in Green Bay. It definitely looks like the Tattletown area, and it is okay. It's right outside of Lambeau. Okay, it's in the parking lot. I know for to join you live, but we're flipping between draft coverage and 2 playoff hockey games. All of which, I mean, look, hey, like if you want to join, just go ahead and click the request to join button. I'll let you in. In fact, that's actually a good idea. I should probably check on what's going on in sports. Because it's probably going to be a little bit before Goodell officially opens up. Yeah. The Panthers lead the Lightning 1-0 in the second period. I went against Axel on that one. They picked Tampa. I picked Florida. So if they go up 2-0 with both those wins, I'll feel really good about that. Leafs and Senators tied at 0 at the end of the first. Senators need this win. It's where if the Bills trade the first round again, I'm going to right. Or if they either that or if they trade back with the Chiefs again for no real reason. Let's see what's going on in basketball. The the Knicks lead the Pistons 39-37 in the second quarter. That's going to be a great game. My Grizzlies and Action Labs Nuggets will play later on tonight. So far, next game is the only one on. See, can I move this down? Yeah, I'll move it down. See what's going on in the world of baseball. Royals lead the Rockies 6-2. No big surprise. Orioles lead the Nationals 2-1. Orioles are 9-14. Holy crap. The White Sox shut out the Twins 3-0. Mariners beat the Red Sox 4-3. Mariners are doing pretty good. Royals beat the Rockies in game 1 of the series 7-4. Game of the doubleheader. Giants beat the Brewers 6-5. Only 2 baseball games going on. Do I think Keon was a good pickup? Yes, I do think so. You think it was completely unnecessary? Absolutely. Another highlight, Cam Ward, who's the consensus top quarterback. I guess that was probably a good time to do some sponsorships or do some announcements. One, live clipping is available, so if y'all get so if y'all do like me getting excited or me regretting life decisions, y'all can clip it as well now, which is awesome. Of course, if you are a gambler like me, check out my Odd Shopper page on Tails. I'll grab the link real quick. But but I am a gambling expert. I'll be streaming tomorrow and I'll have bets for tomorrow. I'll be doing a double thing. Be doing a baseball game and day 2 of the draft then. And of course, check me out on Steeler Nation, which is linked in the channel. This is a rough time to write, so all views are more than welcome. So confused the first few times I heard his name because yeah, exactly. It's like, why are they drafting a goalie? It's like, right, I'm sure you heard about the I'm sure like you remember like when those like Stanley brand tumblers were a thing. Yeah, everyone was complaining about them. And for a while I was really confused on why people were so upset about the hockey trophy. Like, why is everyone so upset about Stanley Cup? It's an awesome trophy. Yeah. Exactly. Like, what did they do this time? Like, hockey does a lot of bad things, but the cup is not one of them. Yeah, it's all insane. Not much happening around the sports world. Of course, I will have news happening. And Roger Goodell is riding out to the stage on a bicycle. This is not a joke. He is riding around the stage on a bicycle. What's happening when he fall off the stage? I guess there's still time. And of course, he's asking for the booze. There's a bunch of Packers players on bikes with him. Lil Wayne is also on a bike. This is definitely a new one. I've never seen like everyone biking on stage, but I guess you gotta be healthy while running the league. And here come the booze. He just always gets booed. And right, I don't know if you remember when they did the MLB draft a couple years ago. MLB Commissioner Manfred, he did not handle the booze well at all. He was visibly flustered. Yeah. So from Goodell, they have do- they have more people in that one area than the population of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah, like Goodell, like Roger Goodell understands his role in life. He understands what he's there to. He's there to take heat from everyone. Here come the Go Pack Go chants, of course. Oh Jesus Christ! Teasing surprises. That's Jordy Nelson. Holy crap! Jordy looks like the typical white suburban middle aged dad. Speaking of being white, Roger Goodell saying Little Wayne. Oh, oh Jesus Christ! Oh God, we're bringing politics in. Oh, okay. I'll take that. Okay, I'll take that response. I mean, that's definitely a way to get people like listening. Just dropping his name, like, oh, what stupid shit's gonna come out of his face hole this time? Gets people's attention. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once he had the name drop, I'm like, oh God, where's this going? And the draft is on. The Tennessee Titans are officially on the clock. By the way, I am on YouTube TV, which means I'm probably behind. So once we get close to the pick, I'm not going to look at chat until afterwards. The Bears still suck. Yeah. Like there's all those jokes about Aaron Rodgers like selling ownership of the Bears to Jordan Love. I feel like the Packers would rather go 0-17 than than let the Bears win the Super Bowl. Also, they're showing the quarterbacks on the Titans roster. Why is Tim Boyle? How does Tim Boyle keep getting jobs? Seriously, what has Tim Boyle done to deserve a contract? What the hell? Now, obvious, like there's one really obvious choice here for the Titans. Oh, I heard backroom chatter and they thought like my parents came home or something. I'm like, what the hell is that? Why are they loud? Titans only getting 18 points per game in 2024. 34 giveaways tied. Most of course Will Levis, a fucking turnover machine along with the meme machine. And okay, they're really hiding J.C. Latham as last year's first round pick. He had touched the ball like 5 times as an offensive tackle. Like he had like a couple of catches on deflections, couple of runs after fumble. Like J.C. Latham actually had the ball in his hands more than you would expect. And of course, they're going to let the time wind down just because. It's because got to build suspension. They got to make everything a little bit more tense. The Titans did make a very dumb decision in the offseason, giving $20.5 million per year for 4 years to Dan Moore Jr. As a Steelers fan, I can tell you that that guy is terrible. Not worth it in the slightest. What is this? This thing. So I just saw a report. Okay, this was from Schefter, apparently. At some point in time, the Giants offered their their top pick, the third overall pick this year and next year's first, to move up to the first overall pick and draft Cam Ward, which the Titans obviously refused. I think Sanders had some. Yeah. Yeah, Riley. Like I said on Action Lab yesterday, he's Kenny Pickett. The only difference is that his last name is Sanders. Like like if he had literally any other name, he'd be like, well, maybe he could squeeze into the first round, as opposed to holy crap, he's falling hard. But yeah, Shador is not going to pan out at the NFL level, and I'm going to throw a fit if the Steelers draft him at pick 21. And it sounds like the pick is in for the Titans, as the phone is getting passed around. They're showing Cam Ward live arm straight in the pocket. In comparison to another former first overall pick in Baker Mayfield. I would say I do like Mayfield a lot. I don't even hold a grudge for what he did against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. I really like Baker as a quarterback. So if Ward can be Baker, including like I don't know if he really has that chip on his shoulder, but if he can be like a Baker caliber quarterback, you take that if you're the Titans. They said the problem that Cam Ward has is that he does try to do like too much. Tries to try like doesn't really take what's given to him. Like will take a bad thing and make it even worse. But the good thing is when you're on a bad team like the Titans, you have time to work those kinks out. He should have plenty of time, and officially, the pick is in. And Ian Rappaport is now talking about how like the Browns and Giants, among other teams, try to trade for the first overall pick, but they said no, they want their guy. I would say it looks like the first four picks are set in stone. The fifth overall pick in Jacksonville is when things will get kind of wild. Maybe I don't know. But like the draft essentially starts at pick 5 this year, barring like some like surprise pick that was on nobody's radar. And here comes Roger Goodell to announce the first pick in this draft. So, okay, so okay, now here he is. Here comes Goodell. Let's just had to do a little bit more promotion stuff. Something I forgot about. The first overall pick in the draft. And here come the boos. Come on. Okay, Roger. Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward. The obvious choice is obvious. Cam Ward is a Tennessee Titan. Featuring Cam Ward, about 6'1", little over half, 219. He did have to transfer late. Wait, is this? It looks like the Jaguars trade up to the second overall pick. Hang on, let me verify this. Yep, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the number 2 overall pick in the draft. There we go. And there is the first big shock. So the whole trade, the Browns received the number 5 overall pick, number 36, number 126, and next year's first. The Jaguars received number 2, number 104, and number 200. But the Jacksonville Jaguars have moved up. You gotta think that's for Travis Hunter, though, right? They have to trade up for Travis Hunter. But holy crap. So the Jaguars currently do not have a first round pick in 2026 after this move. Wow. Which, yeah, as mentioned earlier, actually went on the stream, but like as talked about earlier, this was the first time since '67 that every team had a first round pick in the draft, and every team had their own as well until now, when the Jaguars moved up. But now the Browns are set up very well for 2026. The question is losing out on Travis Hunter worth it? Jaguars do have a new head coach, Liam Cohen, who is a one-year offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. One-year coordinators, not always the greatest thing to hire. General manager James Gladstone came in. I don't know anything about him, so I can't really judge him. But now what? It has to be Travis Hunter, right? It can't be like Ashton Genty. That would be stupid. It's got to be Hunter. The 257 yards per game allowed in the air for the Jaguars, as they're highlighting on the screen. I am. And now here is Cam Ward getting interviewed. Like basic answer, nothing's insane. Which, as they mentioned, Cameron Ward started his career in a small FCS school that you've never heard of before. I think it's in Texas. That's how small it is. I don't know where it is. Small little school called Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word University. They're solid like FCS team. So they said the last time a team traded up in the top 2 and did not draft a quarterback was the Rams taking Orlando Pace, which was all the way back in like the 90s, I believe. That's how long that's insane. The Jaguars pick is officially in, as it should have been quickly, but I had to get some stuff in. But And the Jaguars. Like, what is it there? It's like Chris was talking about how the draft would not really be exciting. It got exciting quick. Oh boy, potato time. There we go. Okay, there we go. It's everything's fixed now. Because last year the Jaguars drafted Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round, who was a great pick. I wasn't big on it at the time, but he's been one of the best. They already updated Woodrick. I'd bet you $20 if they updated his Wikipedia page before he got announced, just because. If they use this picture, I'm going to be on. The Jaguars just paid. The Jaguars just paid a guy. I'm sorry, yeah, a bunch of chat just came in. I just now saw all this. I'm sorry, Riley. Apparently, I really was potatoing because I just saw all the chat you just had. Sorry about that, but yeah, this is catching up on what you that moved up to grab on. Yeah, the Jaguars just paid Trevor Lawrence last year. It'd be stupid to draft Shador here. It would literally be the dumbest. I would fire the new GM on the spot if he traded up for Shador Sanders. So here comes the Jaguars pick. So if I'm ahead of you, you might want to mute. Might want to mute me for a second if it's about to happen. Who's it? Oh, I'm guessing the Jaguars player wouldn't want to pay Man of the Year or this year. I don't know. If Eric Armstead of the Jaguars will announce the number 2 overall pick. And of course, he does the Duval chain correctly. Like Liam. Okay, can't look at the phone. I just got a notification. It was just about the trade, but yeah, can't look at the phone. Can't get spoiled here. Okay, yeah, so just giving a speech about Peyton before the pick. Gives the Giants time to make their pick. And now, with the second overall pick, we have the Jaguars select Travis Hunter officially is a Jaguar. The two-way star is going to Jacksonville, and he is dancing in the back room now. That is definitely like a bold decision by both the Browns and the Jaguars. He's like one like the top prospects in football. A very unique guy who's running down the tunnel now. And the same this is the first time a cornerback has been drafted in the top 2 of a draft. Having a blast, yeah. Like if you're a Jaguars fan, you're looking at this and you are amped up. You're even more amped up. So we all knew that Travis Hunter was going number 2 overall. Just didn't expect the team. But what a decision! So a report here from Peter Schrager is that Cleveland might be not. They might not be done trading back. Now the question here for the Jaguars and Travis Hunter: how much do they want to use him at the cornerback position, and how much do they want to use him at the wide receiver position? Because he wants to play both. They want to use him at both, so I don't. They're saying only players to destroy a wide receiver and corner since '80, and Twitter Cromartie, Champ Bailey, and his old college coach Deion Sanders. Although one guy they left on that list is Ty Law, who was a wide receiver that started at corner a lot for the. No, not Ty Law. Fuck. Troy Brown. Then the Giants are going to stats of Carter. Yeah, they gotta. They're not going to go quarterback here. Giants will get Abdul Carter. They will get their own number 11 from Penn State to go along with the Cowboys number 11 from Penn State. Yep. Oh yeah, you're a Penn State fan, so that's all of you. And the Giants pick is officially in. The Giants have made their pick, which I'm with you. Hunter's got to go. He's got to be the next Penn State guy to go to the derp of the league. Apparently, like the Jaguars have not talked to Travis Hunter since the combine. And what's his college career? Since you've watched a lot of Abdul Carter, do you think he will be better than Micah Parsons, around the same, or like just like a touch below? How do you think Abdul Carter would fare in the NFL? Even if he doesn't go to the Giants. So apparently they're saying here that Travis Hunter went to Colorado because he wanted to be a two-way guy, and that he probably would have gotten that chance elsewhere, except for Deion. Trips, really Darrell Russell and Kijana Carter, which is honestly really amusing. You might know he's a touch below, but given the right environment, and he can surpass Parsons. Good to know. People, I don't exactly know who's on the panel here, but one of the guys here on the NFL Network panel just said, "Look, like he's the guy you pick at recess, no matter what." For Travis Hunter specifically. Okay, yeah. Oh, Kurt's down there. Good to know. The Giants did sign 2 quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So that's going to be a very interesting quarterback group to say the least. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe I don't know. It'll be interesting to say the least for the New York Giants. Now the Giants are just waiting for everything to be announced. And here's Goodell, third overall pick. Abdul Carter is there. The star edge rusher is now a New York Giant. They're into the Micah Parsons. 6'3", almost 6'4", 250. And of course, some people saw him as many people did see him as the best prospect in the draft this year. Which at third overall, you take that if you're the Giants. You feel about the Giants? I would say the Giants are not all the time, but they're usually a really good defensive team. And here they're comparing him to Von Miller. Just speed off the edge. You're not going to be able to just get to him one on one. Looks like he is versatile, can play on both ends, so wherever he's needed the most. It's good to get that versatility. We're excited to see where Warren goes. Oh yeah, Tyler Warren, he went to Penn State too. Like when they go to a team that knows how to develop it. I'm gonna go off track for a little bit with what you said. The tight end position is so undervalued in the NFL. Like usually, like if you have a good tight, you get a good security blanket. Like I'd say that's more important than the top wideout. Tight end is super important, but nobody else thinks that. Oh, it looks like my boss at Steelers Nation's hanging out with Christian Kuntz of the Steelers, which is cool. Just seeing all these things popping up. And of course, thanks to the visitors popping in, consider becoming a member of the Wrecking Crew. I will be here again tomorrow for day 2 of the draft. They're saying, they're showing all like the number 11s from Penn State. Of course, Micah Parsons, as I mentioned, Navarro Bowman, and LeVar Arrington. That and it sounds like Micah Parsons was the one who wanted Abdul Quray to wear 11 and follow in his footsteps, which is great to see. The Patriots pick is officially in, and the Browns are back on the clock. We'll see if they trade back once again or if they stick there and pick up a guy like Mason Graham at D tackle. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely thinking like the Browns might not have wanted Travis Hunter just because they don't really need corner. They do kind of need wide receiver, but they don't know if he fit. I did. I was kind of down that line, but everything was pointing to the opposite. Like, nope, that's their guy. But now, I'll say for the Patriots, like I said, there's only one correct choice here for New England, and that's Will Campbell, offensive tackle. The Patriots have to protect Drake May. They can't just let him die in the pocket. Like last year, I think he got 2 or 3 concussions. I'm gonna have to load up with water quickly with how much I'm freaking out. Okay, that's just a pre. Okay, yeah, that's just a product update. Don't care. Did Sanders even bother to show up? I don't know if Sanders is there or not. Actually, I don't think so. I don't think Sanders is at the draft. I think he's staying home. I believe so. I don't know for sure though. I'd have to check. Oh, and it's a commercial break. So okay, so funny story about what they're talking about NFL Network. They're talking about how every time, like every single time that they go to commercial break for the first time, it's when Jacksonville is on the clock. So of course, Jaguars fans got pissed. So they're joking about how it's finally doing it when the Patriots are on the clock. I'm just for the playoff game. Florida leads. Okay, still 1-0. And Toronto, Ottawa tied at 1. Okay. No thanks for that. Which yeah, it feels like Tampa and Ottawa, both home teams, have to win these games. I feel like if they both for both of them, if they lose those games, it feels like the series is lost. Let's go back to baseball, seeing what else is happening, or we'll still leave the Nationals 2-1 in the 8th inning. The Royals did beat the Rockies 6-2. They sweep the doubleheader, and the Rockies now have a 4-20 record. They are blazing it in Colorado. I'm actually gonna make that a tweet. Is this stupid? Yes. Do I care? No. They're also 1-14 on the road. Well, one, they play a lot of road games, so two, 1-14. This means they're 3-6 at home. Oh, losers at home tonight. They're down 3-0 in the series. Yep, they're down 2. That's the name of my autobiography. They can run with it. In the NBA, Knicks have taken a big lead over the Pistons, 66-53. Looks like they're going to take a 2-1 lead in the series. Which yeah, I'm a little too proud of that tweet I just made. I'm a little too proud about that. Of course, the Patriots they've replaced one Nepo hire this year with another Nepo hire. Went from Gerard Mayo to Mike Vrabel, which Vrabel should be better than Mayo, but still like the immediate Nepo pick at head coach. And the draft has returned back in Green Bay to see what the 4th overall pick will be. Okay, the Browns have now made their pick, so they're not trading down anymore, according to Rich Eisen on the broadcast. We lose out the Patriots take Warren. Then I wouldn't count on that. I'd say they're going to take Will Campbell. And here comes Roger Goodell. Will Campbell, yep, there it is. The first 4 went as expected, except for one trade. Yeah. Yeah, like these were all like obvious moves. I think like me and Chris were talking about it yesterday on the stream. It was like it was like if you were to parlay all the top 4 picks on FanDuel, I think you would still end up being at minus odds. But now like I said, the draft officially starts at 5. And with Cleveland on the clock officially, what so they could go defensive tackle. Theoretically, they could take a quarterback, Shador. It would be stupid, but they could. Trying to think who else. I mean, Gentry's kind of an option. Pick it for them. He'll be able to protect May. Yeah, they needed Will Campbell desperately. This was it was funny. My dad's a big Patriots fan, and I told him like, if you don't draft Will Campbell, you failed in the draft. The appointment now to draft. Yeah, dude got annihilated in the pocket nonstop. In fact, if I'm the Patriots in round 2, I'm drafting a guard. Drafting an offensive guard or something later on. They're going to need all the linemen they can. Wait until next year to get defensive wide receiver. Draft 500 offensive linemen this year. As mentioned, the Browns pick is officially in, and the Raiders are on the clock. Because it feels like the Browns are probably going to go with Mason Graham, defensive tackle, just load up on that defensive line. They really, yeah. Honestly, Riley, I'm not a college football expert. I more so learn about prospects as time, like as the offseason goes on, and see where they fall. Like I haven't watched, I haven't watched a second of Will Campbell's tape, but if he's like the top offensive tackle, Patriots need him. They just they just called Campbell Mr. Louisiana, which I don't know if I go that far. Campbell's trying to hold back tears. Campbell is trying so hard to not cry on stage. So say, okay, so he played in 38 games. He played them all at left tackle. Just talk, Campbell said, "I'm going to fight and die." That is going to be a quote all year long from New England. They are going to keep bringing that, whether he's good or bad. They are going to bring that quote up nonstop. So, so it sounds like the Browns were in talks to trade back again. As Rappaport just mentioned, didn't happen. Of course, they made their pick. I mean, when they could, as they mentioned, they could theoretically drop the next offensive tackle available. Yeah, I think Jedrick Wills left in free agency, or at the very least, they like somebody left in free agency on the offensive tackle, so they do probably need someone. It looks like there's a Logan Brown jersey in the room full of Browns people, so that's gotta be fun. And now it looks like the Browns starting quarterback this year is going to be Kenny Pickett. Starting best available, Genty, Graham, Jalen Walker, linebacker. Jalen Jeremiah has your boy Tyler Warren as the sixth best player in the draft, currently the fourth best available. And here comes Roger Goodell for the Browns pick. Like I said, this is where the draft really begins. Not looking. I saw the name flash up. I didn't see what the name was. I'm not looking. Mason Graham. That's the logical pick. That's the guy I would have picked. Best defensive lineman. Pair him up with Miles Garrett, and you like that is going to be a hard defensive line to stop. Yeah, like I said, the name popped up. I didn't see what the name was, but yep, it was the obvious pick. Yeah, he was like the top deep they're talking about all the defensive tackles, how this was a very deep class for that position specifically. With that said, Mason Graham was in a tier of his own. Like it was Mason Graham and then everybody else, and then like Derek Hyman to Walter Nolan to Kenneth Grant. Which by the way, Kenneth Grant is he was a teammate. Kenneth Grant was a teammate of Mason Graham's at Michigan. But yeah, Graham like yeah. So now with the Raiders up, Raiders this is their pick is officially in according to the tracker. Their pick is in again. They've got options. Again, theoretically, they could go quarterback. They could go Ashton Jeanty. Offensive tackle, maybe they go for a cornerback. They've got options at the end of it. The end of it. Again, this is where things really become wild card. Like I don't know what even I talk about the the possibilities for the Browns, but at the end of the day, Mason Graham would have been my top choice for number 5. Either Jaguars were there, Mason Graham would have been my top choice. So sounds like it's 5 for 5, but if I had to take a guess here, trying to think, Pete Carroll and Tom Brady running this team. Maybe they want to get their own beast mode and go Jeanty.
I am once again doing 2 streams at once.
Yep, checks out.
I on your stream and I'm on SRD stream. So
you're on SRDs. I'm surprised you weren't on the other one on Logicals.
I've drifted away further from him.
Yeah.
Oh well. So I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, going back and forth, but yeah. So I mean, so far, top 5 picks were very predictable, don't you think?
If Bobcat gets the clip, you should see the clip because that was the loudest I have ever heard him when they picked Mason Graham.
Really? That's when he was freaking out about Mason.
Yeah, I just heard the loudest. Yes.
Oh, okay. Like me when the Steelers drafted Zach Frazier last year, which I do actually have that on YouTube.
Awesome. Also, I nearly blew my arm out tonight.
Why am I not surprised?
I have been practicing pitching.
Pitching?
Yeah, I have a large enough backyard for that.
Okay, fun, I guess.
Oh,
don't die on my stream. Or if you do die on stream, put it on camera so I can get 5 million views from that.
All right. So when I do that, I'm on the other one, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah. Now, if I were to make my prediction, I would go Jeanty at 6, but I don't know what the correct choice would be for them to pick. Personally, I wouldn't take Jeanty. Maybe I'd want them to pick offensive tackle. Maybe defense. No, they got Christian Wilkins. Here's Roger Goodell. Like I said, Jeanty is my prediction. I don't know for sure. The Raiders select. Ashton Jeanty is a Las Vegas Raider. So 6 for 6 so far. I'll take it. But yeah, he's got generational upside. Now the Jets are still on the clock, which is a surprising thing. Jets have not made their decision yet. Which yeah, he was seen as a Marshawn Lynch type of back, a guy that's borderline impossible to tackle. Like I saw a lot of people saying that he got robbed of the Heisman Trophy in favor of Travis Hunter. Like how he should have been there. Jets pick is officially in. Panthers are on the clock, but yeah.
I want the Jets to take Shedeur Sanders.
That'd be funny as hell, but I think for the Jets, again, they need a lot of needs. If I were them, I would pick offensive tackle. They're not going to go wide out.
That's the thing. That's what a smart team would do.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what... Obviously, the Jets aren't bad enough. They are enough of a mistake of a franchise where they would take Shedeur. But I don't know.
Who's going to be the first bombshell?
Besides the trade, I figured the Raiders might be, but nope, they went accurate. Hmm. I don't know actually.
Hmm.
It's gonna be hard. I mean, maybe the Jets. The Jets would be a good fit to be the first bombshell.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the Jaguars trading up with the Browns to get Travis Hunter?
Cleveland fucking did highway robbery.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a lot of draft capital. It's definitely a high risk, high reward maneuver for both teams involved.
I think Cleveland put their pick in almost immediately. They were going to go with Graham regardless if they were on 2 or 5.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they
Now
traded
that
back, because they're like, we know we can fleece some boy sucker into getting Travis Hunter.
All right, I think I'm going to go back to the other stream now that Bobcat has cleaned the jizz stains out of his pants.
Jesus Christ. And here, trying to think. Jets. Oh, and it's a commercial break, so I do have time to think about this. The Journey playing at the Brown Stadium.
Okay, you know what would be funnier than Sanders going to the Jets?
What?
Jerry Jones picking him.
Yeah. I mean, Dallas could be a bombshell pick as well. Honestly, I figured Jetty would be a Cowboy. Figured they'd be like all in on the running back.
So taking a running back at 6 and for it not to be shit on as an immediate like bad decision,
Yeah.
just shows how much the running back position is changing in the NFL.
Yeah. Any news here? Yeah. Just for any like news stories while we wait. And yes, I did see the clip you sent me. I don't see. Wait, apparently Mike
New York's
Vrabel let
pick
Will
is in.
Campbell punch him during the draft interview? And also, just because me and Riley were talking about it earlier, I gotta throw this in the chat. Riley, you'll get a kick out of this if it loads anytime soon. There it is. Obvious joke is obvious. Oh, Pistons are coming back against the Knicks. It's a 1-point game with free throws, so one more free throw here and the game could be tied at 72. Hockey, yep, same things as earlier. Baseball, yep, same as earlier. No real scoring updates anywhere besides the NBA game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to. What's this fucking ad about basketball? Basketball?
Yep. Oh God, the Jets pick got spoiled already.
Oh boy, who was it?
Do you want to be spoiled? Would you like it to be spoiled?
Riley, would you like to be spoiled?
Yeah.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah. With the 7th overall pick, giving you a little bit more time before I say it.
The Jets pick was already spoiled, apparently.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the New York Jets select. I'm taking my headphones off until it's officially announced. Okay, she doesn't want to be spoiled. Good to know.
All right. So
But
do
yeah,
it. Do
so since she took her headphones out, they
do
picked.
us.
They made the smart decision.
Oh, okay. That's
They picked
fucking
Armand Membo, offensive tackle from Mizzou.
yeah. Damn it.
They did not do the funny, unfortunately. So yeah. Okay, so note to self: do not look at my phone even during commercial breaks because they would still spoil everything.
And in unrelated news, the Vatican's pick is in for their new pope. Apparently,
Oh, who is it?
I have no clue. It's just white smoke. That means they picked a new pope.
Oh, okay. And here comes Goodell to officially announce the pick. Yep, Armand Membo's going to the Jets at pick 7. They did not do the funny. With the Carolina Panthers, again, you got options. You could go with another wide receiver to complement Leggett. I mean, maybe you could go tight end. D tackle is always an option. Fortify that. Yeah. Oh, the Panthers pick is in, and now the Saints are on the clock, so Panthers have made their decision. Just for the next commercial break, I'm going to load up Ultimate Roster. I'm not going to look at what the theme is, so I can't check it. The topping. So saying here that Membu is the most athletic offensive tackle in the class. What's that? Yep, that's just announcing that pick. Go go away. Go away, voicemail. I do not care about you in the slightest. Oh, it's another commercial break. Okay, so I'll take this off for now and go to the ultimate roster. Must have played wide receiver for an NFC team in the last decade. Okay. That's only applied while on an NFC team.
What? Hold on. A decade of NFC wideouts.
Yeah,
Scoring
2015 to
season.
2024.
Just the NFC?
Yeah, so I figured Julio Jones would be on. Well, maybe. I don't know. Julio might be a lower selection just because he was really good but didn't play like the full 10 years.
Hmm.
Tyler Lockett could be a sleeper because I think he's played like in all this timeline.
From 2010. Well, what decade? Oh, 15 to 24.
I'll put Lockett at 3 for now.
That's a lot of people named Lockett. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'll put Julio at 4.
That is a great image for Julio Jones.
Yeah.
That's a fucking banger.
I'm sure
hairline.
you think that, you Eagles fan.
Me when I use sarcasm.
Okay, try to think. Niners? No, not really. Cardinals? No. Rams? How long has Cup played? 2017 to 24. He's a possibility. See, I'll move Lockett. The only reason I should probably see when Lockett. Yeah, 2015, 2024. Yeah, he's got to be near the top. He's played this entire timeline.
But
Okay.
what wideouts have played since the start of since 2015?
Yeah, I'm just going through the teams. NFC North, Bears, no. Vikings, no. Justin Jefferson's really good, but no. Oh, what about maybe Adam Thielen actually, because he's played in two
Thielen?
NFC teams. Thielen, that's
2014 to 2024.
yeah, Thielen. Actually, I'm moving Hulu to 5 and Thielen to 4. Fuck, I gotta swap. I gotta put someone else in there. So Hulu goes down, and Thielen goes up.
Thielen.
Okay.
Now for your one.
Okay. I went to the Vikings. Lions, no. Megatron didn't play long enough. Same with Amon Ra. Packers, no. Adams played in the AFC for the last few years. And we are back here in the draft, so we will get the
right.
final wide receiver pick later. The Panthers pick is officially in. I hope Riley put her headphones back in. So New Orleans is 5 minutes through on the clock. Showing the top guys left available: Jalen Walker, both tight ends, Barron corner, Jihad Campbell, Amarian Hampton. There's options. I would say I'll go Tyler Warren. I'll make that my decision. I'll make that my prediction here. Panthers go Tyler Warren. Last year, last year's first for the Panthers was Xavier Legette, who who is probably like one of the most redneck players you will ever meet in your life. Chris was talking about how he had coon for Thanksgiving and brought some leftovers into the team facility. And here comes Goodell for the 8th pick. They go wide out. They go Ted McMillan. And I'm wrong there. They do get a wide receiver to go with Legette.
Excuse me? All right, well, that's a little surprising.
Yeah. So McMillan was seen as easily the best wide receiver, but he was expected to fall due to like some character concerns and also him admitting that he refuses to watch game film.
He what?
He does not watch game film. He does not watch any football, including in the film room. That's what he said personally. That wasn't just like a report, like a rumor. He outright said, "I don't watch football. I don't watch film." Riley says like this is like slapping a band-aid on a bullet wound for Carolina going wide out. Which at McMillan is like he is supposed to be like one of the best wide receivers. Like as long as he learns to watch game film, he could quickly be like a top 20, top 15 wideout in football.
That yes, but that would require him to learn to watch film.
Yeah.
And at this point in his life, is he going to do that?
Which again, if you're Carolina and you use a top 10 pick on him, you almost feel like he's got to show them like they had to
you have to be
like,
confident that you can teach him to watch film.
Yeah. And McMillan gave Goodell like his his lay. I think that's what that was. he gave Goodell his lay.
I'm trying to
That
see
jersey
if
looks so small for McMillan. I didn't pay attention to people holding up their jerseys, but that one in particular looks so tiny. Like that's something he'd give to his son whenever he's like 10 years old.
let's see.
Like that might fit me, maybe. The Saints pick is officially in as well.
Ah,
Saints had. Do you know what the Saints need is?
what?
Yes. Even for a team that's not even in the top five, their need is yes. They need damn near everything. Like unless they pick a quarterback, it's hard for them to make a bad decision here. The only reason I say quarterback would be a bad decision is that there's no good ones for pick 9. But like they need like the hard thing for the Saints is like, okay, which of these potential stars would fit best with us? McMillan's 6'4". Holy shit, he's definitely tall for a receiver. I'm talking about the Saints. Derek Carr has not decided if he's going to get shoulder surgery or not. Which, so yeah, his season is in jeopardy. So like the Saints will probably draft a quarterback, whether it's now or later on in the draft. But for and like to answer your question from earlier, Riley, yeah, Shedeur Sanders is at home in Texas. Okay, Rappaport is saying that the Saints didn't like Tyler Shough and Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders. I still wouldn't draft any of them at 9. They could easily get both of them in the second, maybe even the third round. Yeah, and here Daniel Jeremiah is talking about how the Saints haven't like been working that hard to get a quarterback. They do have 4 quarterbacks on the roster, so it seems like they would be like somewhat content with like rolling with what they got. Maybe they want to see what Spencer Rattler can do with the full year under his belt. I mean, he was supposedly a steal in the 5th round, expected to go like third, fourth. I got I got an eyeball emoji from someone I work with in Steel Nation. I don't know what that means, and I don't entirely like it. And here comes Goodell for the Saints. Oh, does that mean they're drafting a quarterback? Not looking. Kelvin Banks. They go offensive tackle. They made a good decision. Kelvin Banks to the Saints. They've drafted so many first-round offensive tackles, but they needed another one with Ryan Ramczyk retiring after his brutal injury. So this was a good pick.
that was not who I expected.
Yeah,
I honestly thought it was going to be Shutter.
yeah. They were just talking about on the broadcast that they did not look like they were the least bit interested in Sanders. Like it's more like they're looking at Tyler Shuck and Jackson Dart. But now that Sanders is out of the question at 9, there's no telling how far he can fall. I'm seeing conflicting reports that the Steelers like him, but they also Like one said that they love him, others say that they hate him and they want nothing to do with him. So if Pittsburgh doesn't draft him, like maybe a team trades up to get him, like a Cleveland or the Giants, but that's still odd. Yeah. Your Bears pick is in, so the Niners are on the clock. Niners, I'm going to go and say Niners are going to go D tackle. Bears here, they could also go D tackle. They could go guard. I mean, well, yeah, the fact that three tackles are off the board does hurt the Bears a little bit. Oh boy. Oh, schedule. Okay, that's what that. Yep, they're announcing the schedule release officially. Okay, I don't know. Get on with the announcement. May 14th, cool. I don't know why they need to do like a whole ass thing for that, but May 14th will be the schedule release. I, I would say, like, depending on if the 14th was that, that's a Wednesday, so okay. So depending on the time, that might be like a Action Lab preview, might be like an Action Lab preview, or a thing that's done on Action Lab Day. And here come the boos, because it sounds like Goodell is about to announce the pick for the Chicago Bears. Also, I'll wait till you get back in, Fireball, but I don't know if you heard what happened early on in the draft. I can't really read lips, but it looks like those guys were saying fuck the Bears. And officially, here comes Goodell. Here are the boos. But for the Bears this time. Packers fans are so confused. Like, they're talking about the death of a Bears player, Steve McMichael. Our thoughts? I swear to God, Goodell just said our thoughts and prayers. Please tell me somebody else heard that. Please tell me I'm not the only one that heard thoughts. The Bears select. Okay, just talking about Walter Payton. Oh, this is the 50th anniversary of Walter Payton being drafted. You heard Sharks? Okay, at least I'm not the only one who heard that R. Can't even look at my phone while he does this long drawn out thing.
Our thoughts and prayers, Roger Goodell?
So you heard that too, right?
Yes, I heard that too. Our farts and prayers. Can we name one of the can one of the songs on that album be Farts and Prayers?
Yeah. Wow, Colston Loveland. Tyler Warren gets passed up.
Wow.
The Bears like Loveland. But now the weird thing is they paid Cole Kmet, so now they're just going to roll with 2 tight ends. Please don't tell Illogical that.
I'm not going to tell Illogical that. He wouldn't fucking shut it. You know what? I could go into the football chat now, and he could see it, and I could see him already saying it.
Jesus, we had Colston Loveland tight end out of Michigan over Tyler Warren. So Bears are just loading up on weapons for Caleb Williams.
A fucking Yinzer BBR02 in the draft day chat just sent a fucking .jxr out file.
Right. But he said like he had 5 receiving touchdowns in 2024. Are they comparing him to was that Tyler Eifert? That's not a great comparison for a first round tight end? But yeah, I wouldn't call that an absolute bombshell, but that's definitely a surprise. And now with the 49ers, like I said, I think they go defensive tackle. They cut 2 guys, including Javon Hargrave, due to cap constraints. So I think they're trying to fill in with the first round pick to make up for the guys they lost. And we're going to say Derek Harmon will be a Niner. Looking so good for Ottawa. It's 2-1 Toronto. It's still 1-0 Florida. Wait, yeah. Good to know. Niners pick is officially in. The Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. You say for the Niners, I'm saying Derek Harmon, which I hope doesn't happen. With Cowboys, it's going to be a quarterback, running back, or wideout. Bank it. I would have said Genty, but he's already gone. So now, maybe they like Marion Hampton enough at 11. I don't know. Bones off the board, so I mean, okay. Commercial break, which means I'm going to take a piss break. I will be right back, and I'm also going to get some more water. I'll be back. I have returned and no, I have not checked my phone. Now, last commercial or first commercial break, I got sport. I'm not doing it now. It's a Code Yellow emote here. I mean, they are. Sounds like they are bringing in custom emotes. So I could probably get a Code Yellow emote. If 2-0 Florida, yep. Yeah, I think Florida wins that series now that they're up 2-0 on the Lightning. Because the series is going to South Florida for the next 2 games. Oh, my neck, that felt good. Vegas and Minnesota just started. So your nice pick is in Cowboys on the clock. And like I said before I left, Derek Harmon. That's my prediction. Oh my god, John Lynch's hairline looks like a penis. I can't believe his hair. Like his hair actually looks like a penis. That I heard like he had a really unfortunate hairline, but I didn't think it was that unfortunate. Oh, now they're making their pick overseas in Japan. They select. Oh, okay. Nope, they're going back to Green Bay. I thought they were just going to make the pick in Japan, but apparently not. But with the pick, Roger Goodell getting the USA chance. Not looking at the screen. I did see like a name flash up once again, but I did not see what the name actually was. Michael Williams, edge rusher. I don't. I mean, maybe they need another edge rusher. But like they are very weak up the middle. I don't get why they went edge rusher. They need help at D tackle. And also Michael Williams, not Shamar Stewart. Not Shamar Stewart, who could play both inside and outside. They go with Williams. I'm confused. I mean, I'll go look up the Niners edge rusher, like the Niners depth chart, just to see like how how dire it is if they need another guy. But like, do they not want to go inside? Let's look up the 49ers depth chart real quick. Yeah, I guess
So
maybe YouTube Gross Matos. Maybe I guess that was a need. I just
so
want to.
reckoning.
Yeah.
I just want to make it like very clear. This is the SRD desperately wanted the Niners to pick any sort of line help, and the fact that it took the NFL this fucking long to make the pick, because if they didn't get line help, he said he was going to get 4 shots in him. And they took so long that he's going to get a shot inside of him anyways.
Alright. So, all right, Riley. Thanks for looking, anyways. Enjoy your show. But yeah, Michael Williams, like edge rusher, was in need, but felt like that could have easily been addressed later on in the draft. Cowboys pick is in now. They could go Tyler Warren. The Cowboys could go Tyler Warren here. That would be a good pick for them, actually. I would say one thing, like Jerry Jones is kind of a dumbass with a lot of things. Cowboys have actually been really good at drafting players as of late, so I could see like them making like the smart pick is not out of the realm of possibilities. And here comes Goodell. I think it's Warren. That's my prediction. Tyler Booker. They go guard. Okay. You you know what? Again, it was not on my radar, but really should have been. Zach Martin retired. They have a gaping hole at guard. Good pick for the Cowboys. I thought it'd be You said Tyler. I was like, holy shit, I'm right? No, I'm not. Cowboys made a good pick. Which Booker is going crazy, going down the tunnel. But yeah, that was. But yeah, like they need a replacement for Zach Martin. No questions asked. Although there's probably not one single person that can replace Zach Martin, but getting Booker should help with that a little bit. They said he does have a little positional versatility. Apparently, they say he has played a game at left tackle. But yeah, that should have been a lot more on my radar than it actually was. The Dolphins are still on the clock. They have not made their decision yet. Dolphins could also benefit from offensive line, although four linemen have already been picked. So that might be off the table for them with all the guys taken. Maybe they go cornerback with Jade Brown. Maybe they go D tackle with Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan. Yeah, it's either D tackle or corner for them, most likely. I don't think they go safety here. I do need more of a light. I may need to have this on my face for a little bit just to get lighting. So far, I haven't seen any other like trade rumors rolling around. You're talking about like Booker did not allow a sack in 2024 with Alabama. So it's this thing what they were putting up there, but yeah. If Booker that's like he is good in the running game, but apparently elite in the passing game from college, which like Prescott does not do well under pressure, which you can take that anyways you will, but very least Booker should help take some pressure off of him. Yeah, good pick for them, easily. And going back to commercial break as the Dolphins have 4 minutes on the clock still. And while it's commercial break, let's go ahead and do ultimate roster again. So it's wide receivers from the NFC since 2015. Career stats. Okay, so I talked about the West and the North, so let's go NFC East. Eagles. No, I wouldn't go there. Cowboys. Lamb hasn't played long enough. Cook, I think he's been in the AFC a little too much. Giants, hell no. Commanders, when was McLaurin? 2019? Probably not. Not long enough. NFC South, Buccaneers. Obvious choice is obvious. See, how long has Godwin been in the league? I just want to see. 2017? You know what? I don't know. You know what? I'm sticking with this. Evans, Lockett, Cup, Thielen, and Jones. That's my pick. A pluses across the board. Now, is there one I missed, like one that could have been a slightly better option? Evans, Lockett, Thielen, Adams, and Cup. Okay, so Adams would have been on there. So first two were perfect. Thielen is 3. Cup went from should have been 5 as opposed to 3, and Adams was in there. Okay. Now how about my guys? Yep. 1, 2. So Julio was the 6th guy. He was the 6th guy. Okay. You know, I did great on the ultimate roster there. I got 5 of the top 6, including the top 3. I will take that. The pick is still the Dolphins did get the pick in. Last year they drafted Chop Robinson, who's compared a lot to Shamar Stewart of today. Like a guy that didn't get a lot of sacks in college but had a lot of upside. And he did get the sacks. In Miami, got 6 of them his rookie year. Hey, look, I got that draft tracker on the screen. See, I'm with you on the phone network. I got the draft tracker up. Jalen Walker, who Jeremiah has as the 5th best player, has not been taken yet. I mean, they could go linebacker. I think my prediction is that they go Barron. I think they go Jahdae Barron. They said like they could draft safety here. I mean, I guess that is also a need. I would lean corner first. Like I said, Jahdae Barron, that's my pick. Here comes Goodell to make it official. They go defensive tackle. Okay, Kenneth Grant. That was D tackle would be my next pick. Which the guy I was thinking of. Yeah, Derek Carmen apparently has some medical issues, so he's expected to fall. Kenneth Grant goes at pick 13. A team that's still struggling with the loss of, I forgot, Christian Wilkins. But yeah, so both the first two defensive tackles off of the board are both Michigan players. Of course, Grant also at his home. But yeah, that was a. I guess the only question really here is that how much did like having Mason Graham next to him help him out, or vice versa, kind of. But and the thing about how Kenneth Graham's one of the biggest guys and he can still run well. He is a good fit for a 4-3 scheme, which is what the Dolphins tend to run. The Colts pick is in. And they could also go tight end with Tyler Warren. I'm trying to. Maybe they want a safety. Like the Colts have a bunch of. Like it doesn't feel like the Colts have a lot of needs, but at the same time, I could also see the Colts taking a wide receiver because that room is very underwhelming, and they need to they do everything they can to protect their guy. Offensive line, again, top four already off the board. It'll be hard to find another great one. There's options across the board. And they are talking about how Tyler Warren is a need for the Colts. That's what I say. Here is the Colts selection. They do get Tyler Warren. They call that and Tyler Warren. Who they say he's Gronk light, so like a poor man's version of Rob Gronkowski. They say he is. In fact, that's one that hurts the Broncos because they're talking about how he's like he looks like the Joker that the Broncos have been desperately warning, as Chris mentioned before on his stream. But yeah, Warren looks like a great pick, very athletic, can do a little bit of everything, can block, can catch, can run, can throw. So, like I talked about earlier on the stream, how the Colts need, or sorry, about how tight end is so undervalued. Now, if you how a great tight end could boost the offense a lot. Just getting that security blanket over the middle. The Colts have that. That's one of the best ways for them to supplement Anthony Richardson and have him develop. Also, I didn't notice this, but apparently Kelvin Banks earlier, apparently like someone was throwing up. Apparently like a baby was puking on like his wife, girlfriend, whatever that, or whoever's baby that is, was throwing up. When they're showing Tyler Warren playing baseball, hitting a home run in the Little League World Series. So you're a very athletic player. At 14, that could be a steal. 6'5", 256 for a tight end. Wow. So that looks like it was a great pick for the Colts. They got a big steal, and if you're Chris Ballard, Shane Steichen, you gotta be happy with that. Falcons are still on the clock. About 5 minutes to go. They need defense. Forget the offense. Draft somebody defensively. My prediction for them is Shamar Stewart. That's my prediction for Atlanta. They need defense. They need I mean, Shamar Stewart can play edge. He can play D tackle. They just need somebody. Of course, last year the Falcons drafted quarterback at 8, which seemed like it's definitely seemed like a very stupid pick, but it worked out for them in their favor. Well, while it's commercial break, I'll do another score update. Pirates lead the Angels 1-0 top of the first. Rays Diamondbacks is about to start. The Orioles did defeat the Nationals 2-1 to get their 10th win of the year. Moving this around. That's okay. That is crooked as hell. How did they make that so crooked? Okay. Let's go. NBA. The Knicks are up 108-101 with 3 minutes to go. Thunder and Grizzlies will tip off here shortly. And let's check out hockey. The Senators did tie it up. Leafs and Senators going to overtime. Wild have a quick 2-0 lead over the Golden Knights. And the Panthers did shut out the Lightning 2-0. So the Panthers have a 2-0 lead in that series. Both games were in Tampa. South Florida goes home with the lead. Falcons still have not made their pick. As we are getting close to 2.5 on the clock. Let's see if there's anything going on here. Nothing yet, nothing special here. Seeing what else. I'm not even seeing any news in baseball. And the Falcon, it doesn't look like Arthur Blank, the owner's panicking here. So Falcons have 1 minute on the clock. They're showing the top available. Jalen Walker, linebacker, still there. Bear in the corner. Although the next best pass rusher on the list is Green from Marshall. I think that's Mike Green. The number 21. "30 seconds on the clock. And their pick is in. That got kind of close to the end, but they did make their pick, and the Cardinals are now on the clock. Like I said, for the Falcons, my prediction is that they go Shamar Stewart. Yeah, Riley. Yeah, I said that was a great pick for the Colts, getting a tight end, getting the best tight end in the draft possibly. So if you're Atlanta, you can't go offense here. You just can't. That's just not a thing you can do. Defense. There are so many good options. You can't pass anyone up. They missed 2 picks. And then, yeah. Oh, I just got pinged. For? Oh, that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I should probably put like my. No, just leave it on group me and set the phone down. Yeah, there is a chance that I have to write while I'm on stream. Foul. Still waiting. Okay, here comes Goodell now. Not looking at the screen. I'm not looking at anything. It's gotta be defense. Jalen Walker. Okay, at very least they do go defense. They get the best player currently on Daniel Jeremiah's board. They do get a great linebacker who's seen as a top pick, definitely a value pick for the Falcons. They made the right decision and didn't go for offense again. Didn't reach for an offensive pick. Compared to Donta Hightower, the same like he can move around, play. He can play edge rusher. He can play inside linebacker. Exactly the kind of player that the Falcons do need. Of course, Georgia linebacker. I mean, getting anyone from that Georgia team is usually a good idea. Eagles are probably upset that they didn't trade up to get him, that he didn't just fall right to them. They're saying Georgia now has the most amount of front seven players drafted in the first round. Just just beat out Miami, University of Miami in the early 2000s. It's explosive to do well in the league. And he's going to be a day one start for the Falcons. They need him to be. I hope your Bills go defense makes sense. Now for the Arizona Cardinals, who are also currently still on the clock. Again, they need damn near everything outside of quarterback. Just under 6 minutes for them on the clock. They need so many pieces. Again, they could go defensive tackle easily. They could go corner, linebacker. If there's an offensive lineman they like, they could grab him here. I don't think they'd go wide receiver. I think they just hope that Marvin Harrison develops properly. The Cardinals they need a lot. They say they did sign linebacker Josh Sweat to a big deal. They still need again, I mocked it with someone else, but I'll go and mock it here. I'm going Derek Harmon. I'm going Derek Harmon here for Arizona. That's my prediction. Mm. So looking around for news, seeing what else happened. I'm going to be waiting to the Bills pick at least so I continue to get ping. It's all good, Riley. Like I said, like if you do want to hop in, you can. So what I did just see is that the Golden Knights finally scored a goal. It's 2-1 now in the first period. Finally answered back at about 4 minutes. And it looks like there are some people and Lambeau's not, or maybe those are just like maybe those are just like seats taken out to be renovated. I don't know what that is. Yeah, trying to for overtime. Pick is in here for the Cardinals. But speaking of needing defense, the Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock. Oh, I just realized, yeah, Jalen Walker played for Georgia, went to the Falcons, yeah. So he's not going very far. And just so far, outside of the Jaguars trading up with the Browns, there's been no blockbusters. Is it Blues up 1-0 less than immediately? Wow. Yeah, Cardinals, they've got a lot of options here. They were talking about they could reunite Marvin Harrison with his teammate from Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka. And here comes Goodell for the Cardinals pick. They need a lot. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle. They do go defensive tackle. Right position, wrong guy. But yeah, defensive tackle is huge. Load up the trenches and just go for it. The Nolan comparing him to Nnamdi Madubuike of the Ravens, which Ravens always have good defensive players. That's just a given. Which like he was seen as a guy that could maybe get into the second round. Cardinals do get him at 16, so we're halfway through the first round of the draft. And they did bring back Calais Campbell, very experienced veteran. Used to play for the Cardinals again, now in his second stint. And we're going to another commercial break. Toronto wins in overtime 3-2. That series is over. Toronto in 3. That series is long over. Yeah. Bengals are on the clock with 6 minutes here. Just defense. It doesn't matter which defensive play you take, just take defense. Jahdae Barron, who is seen as the top pick, is still available. You could take Derek Harmon to make Steelers fans upset like me. You could get Jihad Campbell. And I'm gonna refrain from making that pun. Anyways, Bengals just defense. There's no. If you go offense, you failed. Offense is a failure of a draft pick. Let's see what else is going around in sports. Yep. Everything's already been updated in hockey. In basketball, had an interesting game that ended 2.8 seconds in the fourth quarter. That game seems like over, but anything can happen. Knicks lead the Pistons 117-113 in a very tight game. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies, who got annihilated in the first two games, are up 12-4 on the Oklahoma City Thunder, forcing them to take a timeout. So that's a great sign. Okay. Oh, that's where. Okay. So just still looking around. Yeah, I should probably move this up now. No, sorry, I'm just getting notifications. Gonna mute this for an hour. And we are back here in the draft. The Bengals pick is in, which means the Seahawks are now on the clock.
Reckoning?
Yes.
I think we're going to need to start to have a serious discussion on the fact that the Steelers might actually land Shedeur Sanders.
I'm hoping that they pass on him, but yeah, no, that was.
Okay, but the funniest thing about that, Reckoning, is that even if they choose Shedeur Sanders, it still would be an improvement over Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know it. So do you know who I would compare Shedeur to?
Who?
Another former Steelers first round pick.
Why is the only name I'm thinking of right now is Slash? But I don't think Slash was a first round.
Slash was a first rounder, but no, not him. Think more recent. Think about a Super Bowl champion.
Kenny not with Pickett? The Steelers.
Kenny Pickett. Shedeur is a very Kenny Pickett-like prospect.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Riley, you hope Shedeur goes in the third round. Why do you hope for that? I mean, it makes sense why you thought Big Ben. Like, he's only like the best quarterback the Steelers have ever drafted in their existence. How much has been hyped? I mean, that's fair. That's entirely fair. But yeah, it was like, you're fine on offense. Draft somebody on defense. Whether it's Harmon, whether it's Jahdae Barron, Shamar Stewart, great, somebody. You can't draft any offensive player. Here comes Roger Goodell. I am not looking at the screen. I'm not looking at that screen. Looking at the TV. Someone coming out. Oh, that was a live edition of Sweet Caroline. Okay. And here's the pick. The Bengals select Shamar Stewart. Okay, yep. Really good decision. Are you nervous for the Steelers pick? Yes. Yes, I am. I'll explain why in a little bit, but yeah, Stewart is a great pick. Like I said, he's similar to Chop Robinson, who the Dolphins took in the first round last year. He's seen as having elite talent, like or at least great talent, very high end. There's just questions on if he can finish or not. They have him compared to Rashawn Gary here. However, like with Chop Robinson, he had the same issues of not getting the stats in college, but he got the stats in the NFL with the Dolphins. That is what the hope is for the Bengals drafting Shamar Stewart, that he gets that production at the NFL level. I mean, if it happened last year, it could happen again. Like I said, either way, something has to be done. And at the very least, like if Trey Hendrickson gets traded away, Stewart can fill in for him. If not, he can just move around the defensive line. Just because he is a versatile player. He can play edge, he can play D tackle, can move around quite a bit. But yes, I am nervous about the Steelers pick for no other reason than I think they're going to fuck it up. I'm so afraid that they're going to fuck it up. Last year, I'm sure you remember me with Zach Frazier last year. There's a little bit of doubt, but like I was all in on Frazier. It was a perfect fit, and I got really excited. Almost knocked the commission over it. It's unfortunate that he didn't, though. But yeah. I am definitely scared that the Steelers are going to pick either a quarterback or running back like Hampton or Travion Henderson. I'm definitely worried about that completely. And especially with Stewart, Nolan, and Grant all off the board. I just have to hope for Derek Harmon. Will they be picking specifically defensive tackle? If they don't get defensive tackle, I won't really be happy about the pick. They have a desperate need at defensive tackle. Their other needs are quarterback and running back, which can be addressed later on. Whatever. Wide receiver, maybe, but they just trade DK Metcalf, and they still have Roman Wilson from last year. So I'm not sure where they're struggling. It's all good, Riley. Don't worry. That's what I'm here for, to give you endless information on Pittsburgh. That's my job in life. That's what but yeah. I swear to God, if the Bengals draft Marion Hampton, I'm going to laugh my ass off. And so just waiting on the Seahawks now. They're still on the... Okay, the Seahawks pick is now officially in. Let me try to hop up for the Bills pick and we discuss... like I said, Riley, just hop on whenever you're ready to. But now the Buccaneers are on the clock. So after that will be the Broncos, Chris's team, and then my team, the Steelers. Seahawks, they need offensive line. Problem is, 4 offensive linemen have already been taken. There are not many options for the Seahawks there. They may have to go wide receiver just based on the fact that there's not a guy they could take at 18. The Seahawks got rid of Geno Smith, but they gave a 3-year deal to Sam Darnold, so I doubt. So I doubt they go quarterback here. But yeah, oh no. I'll say that their pick, they've got Kupp and they've got Smith and Jigba. I mean, yeah, they don't really need a slot guy, so I say my prediction, because there's no offensive lineman available for them, their pick is coming in, so I'm going to say their pick is Matthew Golden. That's my pick. That's my prediction. As here we go, the 18th pick, the Seahawks select Gray Zabel. They do go guard. Okay, again, might be a little bit of a reach, but not a horrible pick. Not a bad pick for them. They're saying he can play all 5 positions as compared to Graham Barton, who went in the first round last year to Tampa. Yeah, safe pick. Yeah, very safe. Fills a need. No complaints all around. They're showing him playing at left tackle. Here he is at left guard at the Senior Bowl. Showing him at center. Yeah. Yeah, if you're a Seahawks fan, you're more than happy with this pick. You got the guard. You got a guy that can play all over the place. You finally have someone to protect the quarterback for once in your existence. Although apparently he started every game last year at left tackle, and then the year before he played at left guard and right tackle. So now the Buccaneers are on the clock. Again, like they don't have a glaring hole. Maybe they go. I'd say they probably go linebacker. My guess is Jihad Campbell because they do. Eventually, they will need a Levante David replacement. So go ahead and get that now. Maybe they can go to Dave Barron and strengthen the cornerback room. Yeah, it's either gonna be Barron or Campbell. He's like 10 years old in this picture. Me whenever I take off my hat. And so, update: the Knicks have defeated the Pistons 118-116. The Grizzlies are up on the Thunder 31-21. Hockey Blues have a 2-0 lead over the Jets. Pavel Buchnevich with both goals. Beat you to that one, Riley. Let's see. Pirates up 3-0 on the Angels. Diamondbacks up 1-0 on the Rays in the second. And that's it for now. If they win. You hope the Blues win. Let's see. Anything going on in this group chat? So one thing I did just see, like Will Johnson, who's a cornerback prospect out of Michigan, apparently has not played much, and that's why he's falling hard. Buccaneers pick is in. Broncos are officially on the clock. But yeah, Buccaneers, like I said, either Jahdae Barron or Jack Campbell. That's going to be the right pick. There you go. I did just see, like, apparently for the Pittsburgh Pirates, their prospect hit a home run in his first ever at bat in the major leagues, Matt Gorski. So that's fun. Pick is in for the Buccaneers. Like I said, my pick is Campbell, the linebacker. And Denver's got about 8 minutes to go as we wait for the commissioner to come out to announce who Tampa Bay picked. They celebrate their decisions. And yep, Campbell is currently the second best player on Jeremiah's big board, behind Barron in the corner. And which way it looks like the Buccaneers are going to get a very good value. They're going to get fill a position of need with a great value selection. They're showing Deion Sanders Jr., apparently another son that Deion has, saying the rejected will be respected, talking about Shedeur falling. It probably shot another Sanders kid, Shiloh Sanders, probably going to be a 7th rounder. That could be for that as well, actually. They're saying that they did sign Hassan Reddick, edge rusher, to a 1-year deal. Forgot about that. Last year, they drafted Graham Barton to fill in the center hole left by Ryan Jensen's retirement. Barton did great at center for them last year. And here comes Roger Goodell. The 19th overall pick. Emeka Egbuka? They have Evans. Maybe they're just preparing for when Evans eventually retires, but Egbuka does not feel like a Buccaneers pick. That's a surprise. I mean, don't like he's a good receiver and he might be a fit. Like, is he? Like, he's a good slot. Is a good slot guy. Can move around a little bit, but like it doesn't feel like they need a guy like Egbuka. Well, apparently they're just going all in on the offense and going to try and make Baker Mayfield even more of a threat. Saying he can block on the run as well to help with the run game with Rachaad White. It's definitely a surprising option, but that is now five. There's 5 Ohio State wide receivers drafted in the first round in the last 4 years. Him, Marvin Harrison, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave. Now, it sucks is I am going to since the Steelers are coming up next, I am going to have to look at my phone a lot, which means I might get spoiled. Just in case I have to write about something. Which is not exactly ideal. But either way, the Broncos are on the clock right now before Pittsburgh. They've been linked to running back a lot, which Omarion Hampton is right there for them. They could also go wide receiver. They could go wide out here with, either Luther Burden or Matthew Golden. Golden is currently seen as the better of the prospects. And now they're singing "Take Me Home, Country Roads." Hell yeah! Yeah, I was talking about Buka a lot during the like when I was streaming the college football playoffs. I would say when Jeremiah Smith was held back, Egbuka took over the game, so he does have that ability to take over if needed. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go for the Broncos for their pick. With the Buccaneers, that was the first playoff team. The first playoff team that got to make a pick. Now, with the Steelers, with the 2 defensive tackles taken off the board, my pick, my hope for them is Derek Harmon, a guy who I thought would go like earlier in the draft. He fell to to potential health concerns, but I want Harmon. Harmon at 21. We need defensive tackles so bad. We're good on wideout. I mean, I wouldn't be completely upset. Yeah, I won't spoil it for y'all. I won't be completely upset if it's wide receiver, but defensive tackle, it's got to be the pick. I am seeing that the New York Giants want to get back into the first round to maybe they'll probably do that to grab a quarterback. Of course, last year the Broncos seemingly reached for a quarterback in Bo Nix. It worked out somewhat. It's somewhat worked out well for the Broncos, but I personally wouldn't want to draft running back if I'm a Broncos fan. And I think Chris mentioned that on his stream yesterday as well. Yeah, running back, wide receiver. If I'm a Broncos fan, I'm more than happy with wideout. Igbuka wouldn't really fit the Broncos, I feel like, so they probably do better with a Golden or a Luther Burton. Only 80 seconds on the clock for the Broncos. They are going to have to pick quickly. Now, the good thing for the Steelers is that they likely won't steal their guys. So, it's a good thing for the Broncos is that Pittsburgh won't. They had different needs, so they won't have to worry about the Steelers jumping them to take a guy that they actually wanted. $50 seconds on the clock and okay, the pick is in. The Broncos pick is officially in, which means the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock. I'm probably going to get spoiled by the Steelers pick. Just, come on, please. Just please, Steelers, don't do this to me. The Steelers take Golden. I wouldn't be happy with it, but I wouldn't throw a fit about it either. Like I said, if I'm about my prediction for the Broncos, it feels like Burden is a little bit more of like Burden's more of a risky pick, Golden's more of a safe pick. So what Ian Rappaport just said is that the room was split on if they want Shedeur Sanders or not. If he's worth the risk at 21. 8.5 on the clock for the Steelers. Where they take Will Johnson. I can see where you're going with that, but I'd still go D-tackle before that. Here comes the commissioner with someone walking out with him. Oh, so this looks like it's a Make-A-Wish kid. Okay, yep, 17-year-old Broncos fan, the Make-A-Wish kid, making the decision. Welcome in, Chairman. Glad to see you. The Broncos select Jahdae Barron. They go cornerback. Wow. That doesn't. I mean, they were. I figured they were good quarterback. I figured they would get more weapons for Bo Nix. Yeah, not a bad pick, but still a surprise. Now, please, Pittsburgh. Don't get Shedeur Sanders. Don't get Marion Hampton. Don't get Milrow. Just defensive tackle. Go get Derek Harmon. That's what I'm pounding the table for. Derek Harmon. Oregon. Obviously, y'all like Scotty's boy. Scotty's boy from Oregon. That's who I want. No, no Shador, no Chairman, no. Derek Harmon. That's who we need. Now, I will probably be sporting with the pick, but I do have to. Please. Please, Steelers. Please. Steelers are still on the clock. That's just the pick. Yep, that's just the notification that the Broncos got Jahdae Barron. Then Barron was still. That's still a great value pick for the Broncos. I would have gone wide out. I would have gone wide receiver for Denver. No. Okay. Pittsburgh is on the clock. Not Shador. Please. 5 minutes for the Steelers on the clock. Chargers are right behind them. I'll go say, just because I am probably going to have to, might have to watch a press conference, you're right. I'll go and say, for the Chargers, they need a few things. They need wide receiver. They do need another wideout. They could use some more defensive help, maybe another corner or linebacker. For Chargers, I think they double up. I think the Chargers double up on wide receiver. They got Lyle McConkey in the second round last year. I think they go Matthew Gordon this year. Pick is in for the Steelers. Please. My coworkers from Boston today, he said that he remember that Bills were looking to trade Josh Allen. That you just paid Josh Allen $300 million this offseason. You're not trading him away. You're fine, Muth. Yeah. Muth. I'm not looking at the chat anymore. I am not looking at the chat. Here comes the commissioner. Please. Yes! Derek Harmon! Yeah. That was my guy. That was my guy. Derek Harmon to the Steelers. They desperately need defensive tackle. Main reason he felt was health concerns. He is a beast in the middle, little versatility, and he is a great pick for the Steelers. Yes! Thank God! Oh my god. Yeah, the Steelers went dumb. They passed on Shedeur Sanders. That was my boy. Shedeur, this is just in the chat, as you saw, Riley. Shedeur Sanders is Kenny Pickett with more of a mouth. Yes! Thank God. Chargers are on the clock. I am looking through to see if this when the Steelers get on the press conference for Derek Harmon because I'll probably there it is. So sorry if I do go a little quiet here, but that was my pick. I'll go ahead. I gotta meet the draft. Derek Harmon. Oh my god. But yeah, I think I made a clip. Let's see if you did. I'm not seeing it pop up. Not seeing it pop up, but thanks for trying anyways, Riley. But yes, they made the correct pick. So happy. Now, obviously, it's not going to save the Steelers this year, but this is a great pick for the future. And it does help with the defense right now. I would say at very least, just because I'm actually using copyright. Yeah, no worries, right? But yeah, since I didn't use copyright stuff, I can actually upload this video and then get the clip from there. I just want your reaction. Well, there's your reaction. Great choice. The best choice they could have made. Fuck Shedeur Sanders. Get him the hell out of Pittsburgh. Chargers is still on the clock here. 3:45 seconds. 3 minutes 45 seconds. I am waiting for Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan to get on the conf. Jahad Campbell is currently the best prospect available linebacker. Chargers could use someone like that. Three minutes on the clock now for them. 3-0 Blues at the end of the first period. Holy crap, that's a lot. They're just putting it to Connor Hellebuck there. 2-1 Minnesota Vegas still good to know. Oh, of course, press conference is here, and I have to. No, I have to use the bathroom, but I can't. I would say, like, if I do right, it's probably going to be something super quick. So after the Chargers will be the Packers. Again, just in case I missed them. Packers will probably get cornerback. Will Johnson could be the pick for them, actually. Will Johnson would be a great pick for the Packers. Great value there as well. The Packers also could use a wide receiver. However, they don't draft receivers in the first round, so that's likely out of the question. My pick for the Packers is Will Johnson. If there's one thing I'm not worried about, it's Bills picking Sanders. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to do that. And the Chargers are at 1 minute on the clock. Got 1 minute to go. Now, depending on what they want, the Packers could theoretically take the guy that I don't think they would, but if they do run out of time, Packers could take the guy. Yep, nothing there. 30 seconds on the clock for the Chargers. $15. They're struggling. They gotta hurry. They're at 10 seconds. I'm not listening to the draft anymore. Just waiting for other things to happen. 3, 2, 1, and the Packers are on the clock. The Packers could leapfrog the Chargers and take their pick. Okay, pick is in for the Chargers. Packers will not steal it. Good. I'm just gonna put this on Twitter real quick. Sorry I haven't been talking much. It's just been like it's insane. I was so scared for the last month that they were gonna fuck everything up. They did not fuck everything up. They made the right decision. They did what they were supposed to do. So I Steelers won't have another pick until the third round, but drafting Derek Harmon makes that so much easier to deal with, knowing that they address their biggest need with one of the best players. Here comes Roger Goodell to make the Chargers pick. After I give my analysis on the Chargers pick, I'm gonna have to take a quick bathroom break. Again, I'll be back. The Chargers select. Who is it? Oh, Marion Hampton? The Chargers drafted a running back? They just signed Najee Harris. I know he's not the best running back, but you don't need running back. What a horrible choice. Chargers are going to Charger. Chargers going to Charger. Hampton. Why? Yeah, Marion Hampton. I mean, he's one of the top running back prospects. Many people like him going in the first round is not a surprise. If he didn't go there, there's still a couple other spots he could have fallen to, but the Chargers? That was not on my list at all. Look who's dropping the truth in Discord. Yeah. Yeah, about the Chargers being like the fantasy guy. Yeah. Which at the time of Shadur, if he goes to the second round, teams will take that. They'll take the risk on Shadur in the second round. Packers just under 6 minutes on the clock, and I will be right back. Oh, just in time. Tyler talking about how they drafted DT because of severe urgency. Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like standard stuff, like standard press conference stuff. Doesn't sound like anything special. Packers at 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock here. Just sorry if I don't look at chat, just because I'm listening to this. Which for the Packers, my pick for them is Will Johnson, corner out of Michigan. Which Chairman would probably be all about. Wait, no, he'd be the exact opposite of all about because it's the Packers taking a Michigan player. 3 minutes for the Packers. Cornerback and wide receivers are probably their top needs. Yeah, these are all like basics press conference questions. No, like nothing out of line, nothing that would like get people's attention. Omar Khan just immediately shutting a guy down. That was fun. Okay, so there's something. So he fell because of alleged medical stuff, but Khan Tomlin dismount. That might be something. Just waiting to see if it gets talked about. I almost wish the Bills would trade up for. I'm sorry, just because I wasn't paying attention. Who do you hope the Bills trade up for? Will Johnson? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Will Johnson. Yeah, checks out. I remember who the Packers draft last year. The Packers pick is now officially in, which means the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. Like I said, like Johnson's fine due to like a knee issue, but that seems to make the most sense for the Green Bay Packers. If I was them, I would go Will Johnson. But just so far, topics are getting dished all over the place. I haven't got one, probably because they know I'm streaming. If I'm being completely honest. You think the odds are low for Johnson fall to the Bills? I mean, depends on how scared people are of his knee issue. Minnesota, maybe Houston. They need O line. Rams could be a fit. And here comes the commissioner. Although I guess at the same time, I don't know if a guy with a knee injury would work well for the Bills, considering they have Trey White, who a corner with a big knee issue. The selection here for the Packers, although they're introducing someone. Again, unfortunately, I can't hear because I have to listen to this conference. Oh, Mark Murphy, the Packers president, CEO. Okay, that's who that is. Mark Murphy will be making the pick here. Okay, so now with the 23rd selection in the draft, the Packers select. Just waiting. Okay, yeah, apparently he's giving a speech that I can't hear. He's making a whole speech. Cool. Okay, here. Pick the Green Bay Packers select at 23. Okay, maybe. Are we sure it's here we go time? It sounds like Matthew Golden. They drafted a first round wide receiver for the first time in forever. Matthew Golden. I mean, it's a good fit for the Packers. It's just very unpackers like. still a good decision by them. So for the first time since '02, nice. But yeah, that is a great pick for the Green Bay Packers. Okay, it sounds like the press conference is over. It doesn't sound like I really have anything. Doesn't sound like I've got anything to write about, so I can focus back on the draft. And of course, this draft is in the parking lot of Lambeau Field down in Tarrytown. Okay, hang on. I was just told to look at something, so give me a second. I'm probably gonna have to look stuff up. Give me 1 second. I should probably hurt just to say that. Should probably just let them know that. Yep, I see it. Cool. Yep, watch live. I have to. I guess I'll just continue with. Continue. Oh god, I have to make a whole ass account to watch the live stream. Son of a. For those of you wondering, no, I do not actually have a TikTok. I think it's stupid. Sure, I'll just do that. Son of a bitch. Now hurry up and let me in so I can watch Cam Hayward. So I am going to have to mute this again. So apparently Cam Hayward is going to be on the Steeler Nation page. So I'll just be listening to this. Of course, until then, I'm still here. Anything good happened yet from anyone from Florida State? Nobody from Florida State has been drafted yet, Piglet. Your Niners made a questionable choice at 11, getting an edge rusher when it was kind of a need, but not the biggest one. Oh, Fresno State, duh. No, nobody from Fresno State has been drafted. And nobody from Fresno has been drafted. Niners drafted Michael Williams, edge rusher, when you really need a D tackle. Steelers made me sweat, but they made the right choice, grabbing Derek Harmon out of Oregon, D tackle. Another innovating golden here. The Vikings pick is in, so it'll be Houston after them. And Minnesota Vikings, they need offensive tackle. That's their biggest need. I mean, later in the draft, now they might be able to find a decent tackle at this stage. I will lower the volume. How do I lower the volume on this? Shit, wrong button. There we go. There's the volume. Yeah, Minnesota, yeah, offensive tackle would be my pick. I don't know who's available for O tackle here. They do need a guy there. Trying to think what else. Defense, honestly, Brian Flores is a really good defensive coordinator. I think they're fine what they are defensively. Yeah, like O lines, of course, quarterback, they're run with JJ McCarthy. The only piece I think that really pressing that okay, we gotta fix this as soon as possible is the offensive tackle. I don't know if there's one available that would make an impact for them. Yeah, it definitely feels like that's the only thing Minnesota desperately needs. Yeah, Pickle, I know you know people in Minnesota, so you might be interested in this. Here comes Roger Goodell to make the pick. Oh, I'm hearing the New York Giants traded back into the first round. They gotta be going for a quarterback. But first, the Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, a guard from Ohio State. They need offensive line. They got their offensive line. You're happy with that if you're a Vikings fan. Guards are usually better late first guys than tackles anyway, so you're happy with that. 6'3", a little over half at 6'3", 315 pounds. But maybe the New York Giants are back in the first round. Yep, the Giants trade with the Texans. You know, right? Do you know that's what everyone was talking about? Like teams wanted to trade back up to get a quarterback. So with the Giants, it's probably going to be either Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. One of those two quarterbacks will be a New York Giant. But like, it has to be a quarterback for the Giants. That's the only. Doesn't feel like they make a trade up for this for any other reason. Get that 5th-year option on a guy on a project. So I'm gonna scroll on Twitter to see what the trade package was. So the Giants give up number 34, their 3rd pick this year, and a 6th later on for pick 25. Okay, so not a bad haul. Not bad for the Texans. But yeah, the Giants have to get. You gotta think that the Giants are doing this for a quarterback. Where the hell is SJ? But like, you gotta think. But now this is only the 2nd trade in the first round so far. And the Texans are now the first team to not have a first round pick in this year's draft. And it took all the way to them going on the clock with pick 25 for that to happen. If the Giants have a quarterback they want, Houston will now have the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. Oh yeah, I'll move the draft tracker down a little bit. Still listening to see if Cam Hayward joins that Steal the Nation show or not. It says Giants. Yeah. Well, prepare to scream, Riley. I'll go do a sports update. Pirates have choked. What's new? They are now tied with the Angels at 3 in the top of the 6th. Diamondbacks lead the race 3-1 the bottom of the 5th. A's lead the Rangers 2-0 the 3rd. And that's it for baseball. In basketball, how are my Grizzlies doing? My Grizzlies are up 77-51. That's great. Clippers are up on the Nuggets 45-30, so Chris ain't really having a good time there. In hockey, going to be Riley to these. Wild have a 3-1 lead. Blues have a 3-0 lead in the 2nd. That's it for there. We are back here. Giants, you gotta think they're picking a quarterback. What about what's what I call the goalie? I'm trying to get football on the mind. Checks out. Which up here is the Texans received pick 34, pick 99, and a future third. So the sixth was not accurate. 34 and 99, future third.
I just
Take that as a Texans fan. You're happy about that.
I just saw who the Giants picked.
Don't spoil it. I think I know who it is, but don't spoil it.
You're gonna love it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think I know who it is. I think you actually spoiled it by saying that. But yeah, Fireball, did you hear my reaction to the Steelers pick? And he died again. Awesome. Came in to give a spoiler that wasn't actually a spoiler and leave. Can't look at the phone. That's gonna spoil it. I almost opened up a notification. Of course, they did pick up Russell Wilson and okay, maybe where's that Discord? Okay, that's from Action Lab, so I'm not gonna look. Philip Gustafson is the Gus Pass. Okay, because I was about to say like Marc-Andre Fleury is their goalie, so I was really confused about the Gus Bus. Which Marc-Andre, oh, he's the back. Okay, I good to know, but yeah. Shedeur Sanders is probably the pick. If that was my guess with them coming up, my guess would be Shedeur. All it says better be Dart. Yeah. Just because, like Cam Hayward's supposed to be on the show, but he hasn't showed up yet. So yeah, if he doesn't show up, I'll actually listen to the pick. Because this, like everyone's been waiting for a bombshell. This is probably the bombshell that we've been waiting for. Here comes Patrick Goodell. And with the 25th, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, not Shedeur. Not Shedeur Sanders. Dart over Shedeur, so the whole league has no respect for Shedeur Sanders. They go from Danny Dimes to Jackson Darts. Jackson Dart. Wow. There's the bombshell we've been looking for. And here his draft comp is to Jalen Hurts, but your boy's mom is ripped. Don't get too excited, Riley. But yeah. I would say that for the Giants, Dart is a project. He will not be the day one starter. He will likely be the third string quarterback this year, which is perfectly fine. Just take their time, develop him, try to, and then, like next year they can get offensive line, another wide receiver, and really put Dart in a position to succeed. So yeah, for the Giants, quarterback is not a bad place to go. And the Falcons traded up. They don't need quarterback, obviously. Maybe they like Will Johnson. But yeah, the Falcons traded up. I mean, they need defense. And there's plenty of players available. Same thing. We can go to Twitter to see who's available.
The Falcons traded their first round next year to go up to 26.
I'm hearing from the guy I'm listening to, waiting for Cam Hayward to come on. I just heard from him that they traded their first round next year.
Yes. What the fuck?
They traded their first round pick next year. Hang on, let me confirm this. The Falcons trade pick 46, pick 242 in the 2026 first for pick 26 and pick 101, right from Ari Myrov. Another bombshell. But, like, that doesn't make sense, though. Because the trade was made with the Los Angeles Rams, so the Rams go all the way back into the 40s. That doesn't make sense for the Falcons. They don't need a quarterback. Like, yeah, Will Johnson is falling, but, like, he's not a guy worth giving up a future first for. It's not like he's Travis Hunter. I don't get it from the Falcons. Their pick is in. Baltimore's on the clock. I don't get that from the Falcons. Officially on the screen, Falcons received 26 and pick 101. Rams received 46, 242, and next year's. Why, Atlanta? Who could possibly be at pick 26 that's worth giving up a future first for? And more importantly, why did you give up a second to go with the first? What are you doing? I'm not even a Falcons fan and they're pissed. What in the fuck? Explain. Here comes the Falcons pick. With the 26th overall pick in the draft, the Falcons went brain dead and gave up a future first to select James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. My boy out of Tennessee. So I will give a little bit of context here. I still think it's dumb to give up what they picked, but I will give context. James Pierce was seen as a top 5 prospect at the end of the regular season. Apparently, he's got some massive character concerns that killed his draft stock hard. At least the Falcons do need a pass rusher. They desperately need that elite edge rusher. Would I give up a future first for James Pierce? No. Fuck no. Does the pick make sense for the Falcons? Yeah, I'll give him that. But of course he is from Tennessee, so I do hope he does good. I'm a big Vols fan. But still, you didn't need to give up that much draft capital. The pick is good. The trade just leaves a sour taste and makes the pick feel less good. I am shocked. So yeah, the Baltimore Ravens are still on the clock. I'm trying to think. They could probably use some offensive line help. It would be a very Ravens pick to pick defensive line. Maybe they go Jahdae Brown on the outside for. Oh no, not Jahdae. Maybe they go Will Johnson at corner. You know, Will Johnson and Tylee. I forgot the other guy's name. I forgot the next defensive tackle's name, but both of those picks would be very Baltimore Ravens picks. Which yeah, which yeah, honestly, Riley, if you're a Ravens, I mean, if as a Bills fan looking at Will Johnson, I'd be kind of worried here if I were you. So Will Johnson would work great here. They had to move Humphrey from the outside to the slot, so there is room there for outside corner. Hang on. So I was just telling you, this thing I was just typing, like the fact that the fact the Giants traded up to pass on Shador again tells you everything you need to know about the kid. The Ravens have been loading up on wide receiver in recent years in the draft and offense, but they could definitely benefit from a defensive pick. Yeah, up next. Okay, the pick is in for the Ravens. Chairman, I don't know if you're still in here, but for your Lions, I would keep going defense. I would keep loading up that defense. You've paid a lot of good money to the offense, and it's well deserved money that you've given to the offense. Gotta load up on defense. Gotta get Aiden Hutchinson some help. Arnold was a good pick last year. Campbell was decent, a decent pick, but yeah, defensive tackle would maybe another corner wouldn't be too bad. Maybe you get one of the big safeties that are falling this far. But yeah, he's in, and I'll move this down. And also, thanks to all of you for hanging around. Draft day is always fun, even when the picks are boring. The draft day is usually a fun time. Just showing John Campbell is still available, as is Nick Emanuwari. Were the Lions taking Chairman? Like, if Will Johnson goes here, I'm going with this Mike Green guy, edge rusher Alan Marshall. Actually, no, no, you already have Aiden. You need a guy on the interior now. Maybe they probably actually take a big value pick and get. I know you drafted Campbell a couple years ago, but you probably get Campbell. So you drafted Jack Campbell a couple years ago. Now you get John Campbell just because he's still there. You think it's Green? Here you go. The Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks. They go safety. So Will Johnson is a possibility for your Lions. Malachi Starks, and it's not Emmanuel Warrior, South Carolina. I mean, Baltimore could probably use some help on the back end if we're being honest, so it's not a horrible pick. They also see him. They see him as a nickel guy, but like that's more than Humphrey took over this nickel. Also, update. I was just given something to write about, so you watch a lot of SEC football, so you know he's really good at what he does. Sounds good. Yeah. Yep. I do apologize for having this, but sometimes work gets in. I was gonna say, yeah, if y'all want to hop on the call, y'all are more than welcome to. Just let, and if I don't, and if you try to jump on and I don't see it, you can just talk. You can just let me know on Discord. I'll hear the ping. Yeah, for your Lions chairman, like I said, Will Johnson is available for corner. Like you said, Green could be an option. Jahad Campbell is an option to pair with Jack Campbell. Now that I'm looking on here, I should probably do that. Oh, apparently Derek Harmon said his mom is on life support, and he's going to the hospital now to tell her that he's officially a Steeler. Wow. So are the I had the Lions made? Gotta see if the Lions have made their pick yet, or if they're. Yep, the Lions have made their pick. The Commanders are officially on the clock. They haven't shown that on the screen. They still have the Ravens thing up there for whatever reason, but the Lions have made their pick. And here comes the commissioner. With the 20th pick in the draft, the Detroit Lions select Tyleik Williams. Like I said, they did need to go D tackle. That is a good pick for the Lions. There is still a chance. Washington, I don't know if they're going corner, but yeah, Riley, you might be able to get your guy. And Jim Tyleik Williams is still a good pick for Detroit. I would personally be happy about that. Get some help up front for Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson's great on the outside. Now they have a guy that can terrorize on the inside. Jim, so I'm really sorry about all of it. You're saying you hope the Bills are. Yeah, the Bills out of the first round like they did last year, Riley. You're gonna be so upset. I already know that. So the thing I'm writing about, apparently, like in case I didn't already mention it, Derek Harmon did not did not understand why he was flagged for meal concerns. He said everything is perfectly fine. So the 4-1 Minnesota and 3-0 St. Louis. I'm gonna complain about them go to bed. Checks out. Game at 200 words, which means I need 500 more, but pictures do count a lot for the word count, so we're no late, it's past my bedtime. Well, back in my day, you know, I don't see anything about that. So the Commanders here, they've got. They'll probably go deep. I could see them going defensive line. Although no, 4 defensive tackles have already been taken. Maybe they go Shamar. Shamar Stewart. No, Stewart got drafted. Never mind. Maybe they go Mike Green to help out with the edge. Maybe there's an offensive lineman that they're okay with. Commanders pick is in, so Riley, your Buffalo Bills are on the clock. And here comes the commissioner for their pick. And the Commanders select Josh Connolly Jr., tackle out of Oregon. Washington helps protect Jaden Daniels. Can't ever complain about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know a lot about Josh Connolly, but like whenever you make an attempt to protect your star quarterback, you know that the front office is doing something right. And now it's time for the Buffalo Bills. Like I said, Will Johnson is still there. He's got a knee concern, which might scare them off, but he's still there. They could also, I don't know if they go linebacker. They could theoretically go see. They could go with the kid from South Carolina, Nick Emenwari. He could play all kinds of positions. You have time. You got time. You got time. Do it, Riley. So one thing I'm mentioning in this article is that last year the Steelers drafted a similar player, a guy that fell in the draft due to medical concerns, even though he didn't know why he had medical concerns. But they did kind of affect him. The pick is officially in for the Buffalo Bills. Gotta hurry back soon, Riley. He made it shut up the win since 2019 and he'll shut up at the screen. I am at about 400 words, so hopefully I can finish this soon. Here comes the commissioner. Looks like with another maybe another Make a Wish person, or just like a Stephen Hawking type person. I've got no clue. So it feels like Will Johnson's probably your best bet. Maybe Nick Imanwari. And with the pick here, the Buffalo Bills select. Is it Maxwell Harrison, cornerback out of Kentucky? So the Bills do get a cornerback, but they must be scared off of Will Johnson as well. You make a wish gift from Orchard Park, nice. But yeah, you're good with that. Yeah, but yeah, you gotta think like without that pick, there's definitely some like you will take. I mean, it might be a little bit of a reach, but like as I mentioned, the Bills don't have a big need, so they don't have a big need. So you'll take a slight reach for a corner. It's not a bad thing. Why do the Eagles not want the Chiefs to? Oh, the Eagles traded up with the Chiefs. I did not see what. I mean, if you're the Chiefs, you're like, sure, go ahead. We don't care. Oh, you know who they want? They want Campbell because they lost Josh Sweat. They want Campbell. They are going to get a big steal in Jahad Campbell. Bank it. That's who the Eagles want. I'm at almost 500 words. Okay, you can get behind this kid. No. Well, have fun with him terrorizing opposing court or opposing receivers for you. The pick is in for the Eagles. So the Chiefs. Uh, Also, you know what Sky would probably say for this trade? Do you know what Sky would say? He'd say that the Chiefs are not comfortable picking at 31, so they have to pick at the very end of the first round where they belong. That's exactly something Sky would say about something like this. I could definitely see. I'll bet you $20 that Sky says that on Sunday. I will bet you. So this should be the last commercial break before the first round ends. Now remember, tomorrow I will be doing the draft tomorrow as well as a baseball game. I'll be back tomorrow, so all of you that are here, come back tomorrow and we'll have more fun. Mid round picks or like second, third round picks can get wild. It's like, well, this guy's falling. Might as well take a shot on him because why the hell not? Yeah, I'm at 600 words. Which baseball? Braves, Tigers. Sorry, Chairman. It's my steel. I'm sorry, my Steelers. It's my St. Louis Cardinals. I got. I was looking for something specific, and I did get. I ended up getting spoiled on what the Eagles pick is. I do know who the Eagles drafted. So I'll wait for it to pop up, but you're staying until the end. I am, and again, like I said multiple times, I apologize for being very quiet. Actually, it looks like the Chiefs pick is in, so the clock will start tomorrow. I do apologize for all this again. And the Philadelphia Eagles select the guy I predicted they would. They traded up to get Jahad Campbell, linebacker, elite prospect that somehow fell all the way to 31. If you're an Eagles fan, you are gloating again about always getting the best players, and unfortunately, it's worth. They are right. Okay, just need a little more film. Oh, maybe. Now for the Chiefs, they do need offensive line. They need left tackle and they need left guard. They need they need stuff on the left side. They need offensive linemen. They need them bad. Guard is probably more likely here for the Chiefs, but they definitely need to fix the offensive line if they want to get back. So I'm just putting in some filler to reach the word mount, the word mark. Oops. Okay, yep, I'm good now. Okay, gotta add this. Make sure that works. Yep, that does, and I'm throwing it in. So that's me trying to write a very quick article. But now for the Kansas City Chiefs, like I said, tackle guard their biggest needs. I've heard they could be interested in D tackle, although four guys have already gone. EOGS hits Eagles. But also, you're a good chairman. You're okay for not chatting. I'm like I said, I'm sorry for doing what I had to do. Yeah. No. So, yep, I'm good now. Yep, I'm good now. Just in time for the final pick, which is in. Like I said, I will be back tomorrow night. Steelers only have one pick, so I won't be writing all stream. It will be a third round pick, unless they trade up. I hope KC takes a quarterback. I would, if they take Shador, I would pay money to get Sky's reaction right now. And then playback Lexi said, custom player in chat. So I'm your curmudgeon. Nice. Nice. Yeah. But yeah, overall, we've only had a couple of real like blockbusters. First one, obviously, Jaguars giving up their first round pick next year. So I'll say that after the 32nd overall pick, I'll give my recap and then I'll sign off. 32nd pick in the draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle out of Ohio State. Perfect somebody to protect Patrick Mahomes. That's not debatable. Offensive line is their biggest need. Yeah, I do remember you saying that, Riley. So yeah, they did sign. I forget. They signed the dude from the 49ers. I forgot his name. They signed him so Simmons might be competing with him for a starting job. Yeah, Simmons might not start immediately. They might give him some time to develop as a backup before throwing him out there. Or maybe they have one at left tackle, the other at right tackle. Of course, all the big stuff from the draft. Right off the bat, the Jaguars moving up from pick 5 to pick 2 to take Travis Hunter, giving up the first next year. And then it was quiet for a lot of the draft. Quarterback was not taken after pick 1. Steelers, they did the right thing, thank God. It's not going to save them from being a first round playoff exit, but it's at least good for the future. And then the Giants came up to take a quarterback, and it wasn't Shador, it was Jackson Dart. Shador is still on the board in round 2. After that, the Falcons gave up their first next year to take James Pierce. A lot was going on there. But yes, thanks to everyone that stuck around even when I was writing. Y'all are awesome. I will see y'all tomorrow night at about 6 o'clock Central Time. Did my finally take this year? I doubt it. But thanks to all of y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Let's do this. Bye, everybody.